forgot to share the link. Okay, I'm just gonna wait for a few minutes for people to join. Okay, we have two people here already. And hello, thank you for joining this day. Wherever you're joining us from, good morning, good afternoon, good evening. Okay, we're just gonna wait for a couple of minutes before we get started. Two people. Okay. Just two. Three people. Okay. So, good day, everyone. Thank you for joining today's section. If you can hear me, if you're watching us, I would appreciate if you can just drop a comment in the comment section. Just drop a text in the comment section. And that would help us know that, oh, yes, people are here with us. I can see about 4 people here already. So I would appreciate if you can drop a text in the comment section. Thank you so much. Thank you. Yes, thank you. Now I'm excited to start now. So once again, thank you for joining us. You're all welcome. And it's my pleasure to have you guys here. My name is Alamide Mercy for those of you that are just joining us for the first time. And today's section, we would still continue talking about studying abroad. Okay. And today's session, we will be talking about YTB scholarship, the Turkish scholarship. And we have a scholar here today. Um, he's a recipient of this scholarship, and he will be sharing with us all the information that we need to know about this scholarship. And I'm very sure, like, if you are a prospective graduate student and you're looking forward to getting a scholarship to studying abroad, you should stay, like, just pay attention to every details that will be shared here today. Okay, so I'm going to bring our scholar to the stage. I would first let him introduce himself to you guys. Okay. And yes, scholar, please, can you introduce yourself to our viewers? Thank you.
Okay, yeah, thank you, Mida, again for having me. And yes, I am Goodness Ajamu, and I am a YTB scholar
Yeah.
and a 2024 Inter-Russia Fellow as well. Uh, I had my bachelor's degree at the University of Ilorin, Nigeria, where I studied physics, and I was, I think, I would say fortunate enough to graduate the first class. And yeah, I went ahead to study for a master's in Russia. Subsequent after that, I got the scholarship, the YTB scholarship, founder masters in physics actually. So yes, I am a graduate student here at EGS University, Turkey, and I'll be looking to study for a master's in physics again.
Oh,
Thank you
great.
so much for having me today.
Thank you so much for joining us today. We thank you for your time, and yeah, we understand how busy a graduate student can be. So you doing this means a lot to us. We really appreciate. So
You're welcome.
yeah, straight to our business for today.
Yeah.
Talking about YTB scholarship. I personally,
Yes.
I prefer, yeah, like I was discussing that with you, right? Can you
Yeah.
really like tell us about this YTB scholarship? Like, just give us an overview before we go into this.
Yeah, YTV scholarship is a scholarship by the Turkish government for international students. It's not for for Turkish citizens. So basically for international students, for people who are looking to study for a bachelor's degree, a master's degree, and even a doctoral degree as well. So it's basically for all international students of all nationalities without any exemption, and it's basically open. I think usually January till March. So students who are looking to study for a master's, for a bachelor's degree, or a doctoral degree can actually just apply for the scholarship. It's a fully funded scholarship, and you can actually get everything covered.
Okay. I think I'm having problem hearing you. You guys, please let's be patient. I think probably it's network or so. If you guys can hear, probably it's just me. I can't hear you, Scholar Goodness. If you guys can hear him, like I can't hear him.
Are we here?
Okay, yeah. You're back. You're back. Yes, we are here. Yeah.
Scholar
Now,
Miyai?
yeah, I can hear you. Can you hear me?
Oh, beautiful. Okay, good. I wanted to
Yeah.
make sure. So, like I was saying, so it has some restrictions, and by restrictions I mean age restrictions, right? So for undergrad students, you cannot be greater than 21 years of age, right? So if you're
Okay.
looking to apply for the undergrad degree for an undergrad scholarship, you cannot be greater than 21. Okay,
Okay.
and for master students, you cannot be uh, over 30, right? You cannot be over 30 years, yes.
Okay.
And for PhD applicants, you cannot be over 35. You
Oh,
cannot be
that
over
is so
35.
there is age restrictions for the
There
scholarship.
is, there
Okay.
is, there is.
Aside that restriction, like, is there any other restrictions?
Of course, you have your academic documents have to be complete. If those are complete, I think you could
Okay, okay.
apply.
We are going to talk about the requirement. Yes, 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 yes.
Okay, I think it's just basically age restrictions actually.
Okay.
There isn't any other restriction.
All
Yeah.
right. Thank you so
Yes.
much. So, you guys that are paying attention, so take note of every details that he is saying. The application will be open soon. So start
Yeah.
getting. Oh, we will talk about the requirement now of what you need to
Hmm.
get so you can apply. But yes, note this. If you're looking forward to starting going for undergrad, you have to be like below 21, and
Yes.
for masters, you
Minimum
said
skills.
20, 30, right?
Below 30.
Yeah, and
Absolutely.
PhD below 35. So thank
Below
you so much
35.
for that information.
Yes.
Now let's talk about
And
the
there's another restriction I failed to mention.
yeah.
You cannot be a Turkish citizen.
Okay.
Yeah, yeah,
Yeah.
absolutely. So you have to be an international. Yeah.
Yeah. I think most of us we are international students, so
Oh,
we
that's good then.
qualify for that. That's correct. Yeah. Thank you. So
Okay.
now let's talk about the requirements. Requirements for this particularly I don't know if you know for the undergrad or for the like masters or for the PhD, but we want to know the requirements. What are the required documents for this particular
Oh,
scholarship? What are they? Yeah.
okay. Let's be generic for a bit before we go into a specific. For the application, you need your transcripts, right? The transcript, like, there's a record of your grades,
Is
right?
it the official transcript or the unofficial transcript?
Or the unofficial, actually, the
The
unofficial
unofficial
transcript.
transcript. Okay.
Yeah. So you need the unofficial transcript. You need your certificate, of course. You need your CV. Okay. You need your CV, and of course there are also some grade limits. You can. I wouldn't actually say limits, but grade requirements as well. For
Okay.
example, for the undergrad, you need a minimum grade this thing of 70%. So if your grade is below 70%, you cannot apply.
Okay. All right.
Yes. So for master's students, you need a minimum of 75 for masters and PhD students.
So how do
So
you get that 75?
yeah, you could actually calculate this. It's a percentage, right? So say you have your grade is over. Let's assume you have the 5.0 scale as the standard in your school. Let's assume you graduated with a 4.5 CGPA over the 5.0, right? So
Yeah.
you could just do a normal division, say 4.5 divided by 5.0.
Okay.
multiplied by 100. That would give you your grade in percentage. So
Okay.
that should be very straight. So
Oh,
when
okay.
you do that, absolutely. So when you do that, you get your grade in percentage. So if it's greater than 70 or equal to 70, then you're in safe hands. So you could continue with the application, contingent upon meeting other requirements as well.
Okay. So
Yeah,
what are the other requirements? You
yeah,
mentioned transcript, your transcript, your CGP, your cutoff, right?
yes,
Below
your cutoff,
above
yes.
70 or less than greater than or equal to 70, like that.
Greater
Yeah.
than or equal to 70. That's
Yeah.
for undergrads. For masters, you need
Grad. Okay.
for undergrads. Also, you have to get great equal to 7 or greater than 70. So for master students, it has to be equal to or greater than 75%, right?
Okay. Okay.
That
70.
and this holds for PhD students as well.
Okay. All right. That makes
Yes,
sense.
absolutely. So if you that's the requirement with regard to grades, and we also have the language requirement as well. If
Okay.
you yeah if you're coming to study in Turkey and you're because for if you want to study in English, let me put it that way. If you want to study in English, because you could also study in Turkish. So if
Yeah.
you're looking to study in English, you need your your language certificate. And by
Okay.
language certificate, I'm not talking about your certificate of English proficiency from university. That's not the one I'm talking about. You need like standardized language proficiency certificates. For
Oh,
example, TOEFL or IELTS. So you
oh,
need those. Yes, you need those.
okay.
Except, except the university specifically states that you could actually apply without the English language requirement. And that requires you to really go through the university's websites to check if they require it or not. Yeah. So
Okay.
there needs to be some digging in to be done.
Okay. So I have a question, but probably I will let you talk about the requirement before I ask the question. So,
Okay.
what are the, like you mentioned, transcript, your English proficiency, and
Yes.
hitting the cutoff? Do they need academic CV?
Yes, absolutely. They do need that.
So then
Yeah.
your academic CV. So any other thing? Are there going to be essays or?
Yes. For it's like this. For master students, it's optional to have essays, right? Yeah, not to have essays, to have your proposal because there's a proposal section of the application as well. So if it's for your CV, you need to submit your CV. But for the essay, you also need to write your essay as well. But the proposal is optional because there's also a proposal part of the application.
Okay.
So for your essays, everyone has to write an essay.
Okay.
Bachelor's students, masters, and doctoral.
Okay. Okay. Very
Yes.
good. Interesting.
Yeah. So for
Interesting.
the proposal part, the proposal is optional, but it is encouraged that you also fill that part of the application as well because it's equally important. So when everyone is placed on a scale, everyone is having the same grades. Of course, they would have to opt for those that have something even better to put forward, and that is why it's important to actually have a proposal that's to present because that just gives you an edge over candidates that do not have a proposal. So, but for PhD students or PhD applicants, rather, you need to submit that part. It is a must. You need to submit a proposal. But for masters, so it's optional, but it's encouraged that you fill that part of the application.
Okay.
Yeah,
Very.
and yes. So that's the requirement with regard to letter of intent. We also have, of course, your reference letters. You know, that's
So you
definitely
need
important.
recommendation letters as well.
Recommendation letters from referees. So you need to reach out to referees too, at least for master students. And I think it holds for other applicants as well. So 2 recommendations.
Okay. Very good.
Yes.
So like I'm just going to summarize it for people that are just joining or that are like,
Okay.
yeah. So you need, if you want to apply for the YTB scholarship, you need your
Mm-hmm.
statement, your letter of intent, you need your proposal, like it's a must for PhD, but not a must for masters, but you're
Yeah.
encouraged to write a proposal. You need
Yes.
your academic CV.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, you need letter of recommendation, at least 2 letter of recommendation. Then you have to get, if you are going for an undergraduate program, your cutoff has to be greater than or equal to 70. For masters and PhD, greater than or equal to 75. And you mentioned that we also need, I think, English proficiency. So
Yes. For those looking to study in English.
yeah.
Yeah.
So
Mm-hmm.
so I'm going to go ahead and ask the question. But that is just the general requirement. So now let's
Yes.
so the YTB scholarship, is it like
Yeah.
it's you have to get admission to a school before you apply, or you apply to the scholarship before, like, how is it, like, are you going to just submit your application and you don't have to apply to any schools, or you have to apply to schools while applying for the scholarship? Because it's a Turkish scholarship, right? For schools
Absolutely.
in
I
Turkey.
agree.
Yeah.
So let
So
me break down the part. It's
yeah,
actually very easy. So what you need to do, if you meet the requirements, great. So what you need to do is just apply to the YTB scholarship, to the
direct.
portal. Like, just apply for the scholarship only. The government would actually help you apply to the schools by themselves.
That's
Yeah, so they
great.
would they would do that for you.
So
Yeah,
that you don't need to start searching for schools. You
you
just
don't need to. But in the application, you would actually list out schools you're looking to attend, right?
that means
So
you
it's
search, right?
yeah. So when you list out schools, yeah, of course, from those schools, it would actually help you apply to. It
So
would help you
in
apply to.
Yeah, sorry to cut you. So in listing now those schools, are you going to find the list of schools there, or you have to search for schools yourself?
You would have to search for the schools yourself.
Oh, interesting. So I
Yes.
believe they are listening now. Viewers are listening,
Mhm.
and yes, so that makes sense. That makes a lot of sense. So
Mhm.
yeah, so that is it about the requirements, and you have to search for schools, but it's the Turkish is the YTB that is going to like apply, like put you into a school once you are
Absolutely.
granted the funding. So yes,
Yes.
the next question I have for you as regarding the scholarship is, so is it a fully funded scholarship? Do you still have to pay school fees? Do you still have to pay like your living expenses? Are you being like, how is it like?
Yeah. Sorry.
Yeah.
The YTB scholarship is a totally fully funded scholarship. They fund everything, including visa fees.
Including
Every
selfie. Very, very good. So
yeah.
this for people that they can they are finding it really very like they're
Yeah.
not going to like raise visa fee, application
Exactly.
fee, and anything. And yes, you don't have to pay application fee, right?
There is zero application
There
fee.
is zero application fee, so there is no excuse regardless. Even if you can, like, you don't have money now, this is one opportunity you can
Absolutely.
grab. Like, because you
Yes.
don't have to pay, they cover everything. If you can do your if you can submit strong application, I believe you would be a good fit for this scholarship. And you said they cover your visa application, so
Yes.
it's a very
Yes.
very good one. So, what are the other benefits of this scholarship? Yeah.
Yeah. First off, if you're interested in the language course, right? You could do the language course for free. I mean, it's free for a year. You
What
could just
language is that?
the Turkish language.
Or what is it called?
Yeah, it's a Turkish language course. So you could do that if you want to
Okay.
for a
Okay.
year. And if your course is taught in Turkish, and you maybe initially you applied to study in English, but you couldn't meet language requirements because I told you standardized tests are required. And if you go ahead to apply without those standardized tests, it is probable that you would get your course taught in Turkish, right? And yes, that's how it is. So if you do not upload the needed documents, it's more probable that there's every likelihood that you would get placed in a Turkish course.
Oh,
And when that happens, you would definitely have to study Turkish for a year.
wow.
So yes, that's how it works.
Interesting. So I'm
Yes.
kind of a bit curious. Like I'm trying to be inquisitive at this point. So
Yeah.
like, why are they even requesting for an English proficiency? Why are they requesting for a standardized test when it's like the official language is not English, right?
It's not.
Okay, so why do you think the standardized test is being prepared? So it's because they want you to take your, like, why? I don't really get.
Yeah, I mean, if you're coming in to study in English, they would like to be sure that you can actually handle English as a language of instruction, because of course, it's not just Turkish lecturers that are there; they have internationals as well as lecturers. So if you're coming into the university to study for a course in English, definitely they want to be sure. They don't want to start struggling with students that can't even grasp concepts in English. So I think that's always a good one. In any university, they always want to be sure, even if the students sometimes can even be more versed in English than the lecturers.
But like, let's say I don't want to write this English proficiency of it. Let's say I don't have. You mentioned that, oh, that there are some schools that can waive it. So what do you think
Yeah.
I should do? Because I don't want to write the standardized test. What can I do? Do you think I should, or I should just forget about it?
To be honest, in my case, let me use my case for example, because I think that would be pertinent.
Right.
For me, I did not apply. I did not apply with any English proficiency.
Oh, really? So yeah, like I feel like I know. Like, okay, what did you do? How did you go
Yeah.
about it?
So what I did was all the schools I took, I applied to on the portal on the Turkish scholarship portal. All in all universities I took, they had my course taught in English, right? So I never chose one that was taught in Turkish because you would know if they teach the course you're interested in Turkish or in English. So
Okay, yeah.
all the universities I chose they all taught in English. So there was no way they could drive me to Turkey. I don't know if you understand. So
Yeah, I guess
that was how I did mine.
so,
So
right?
all the universities I chose, they all taught my course my course in English. So that was the first strategy I used. And of course, I also had my English proficiency. I have my TOEFL. So that was a backup for me. So if they said no, I would use that as a backup and tell them I have an English proficiency certificate. So that was my style. I mean, I'm not assuring you that it might work, but it
Yeah.
worked for me. So
Well,
yes,
yeah. If you can write standardized tests, write it. If you cannot, look
write
at
it.
schools that
Please write it.
write.
Yes, please.
Yeah.
If you have the means, please do. By all means, please.
Okay, please write it. So we have a question, but we would. So there will be a section for question and answer, but let's quickly take this question. Do they
Okay.
accept Duolingo as an English proficiency certificate?
Ah, Duolingo. I no, they don't. They don't. I
Okay.
think most universities. I'm not sure if other universities, but most universities. Let me just speak like this. Most universities would prefer you submit a TOEFL or an IELTS.
Right.
Okay,
Oh,
they would
thank
prefer that. But you could maybe, but since the government is already applying for you, there is not much you could do in that regard. So, but if you have the means, please just write TOEFL or IELTS, just one of those tests. I think that would suffice.
Okay, that makes sense. All
Yes.
right.
Yeah.
So yeah, still talking about the benefit of this scholarship. So you said they cover the
Yes.
visa fee, they cover your visa fee,
They cover
and
your visa fee, even your
um,
flight.
even your
They go ahead
flight.
to cover your flight, your visa fee, and in fact, they get you off the airport. They take you from the airport to your plane. I mean, everything is just kind of for. It's just free.
This
Yeah, it's
is
very free. It's free.
interesting. Like I feel like that's full package, total package.
It
Like,
is. It is, to be honest.
and when you get there, do you get to like do anything like teaching assistantship, research assistantship?
Yeah, there are opportunities for that, of course. There are opportunities for that. You just need to be on the lookout for that. And it would be nice if you can just maybe contact professors that are, looking for teaching assistants and research assistants. There are always professors like that. You'd always reach out to them. And if your research interests align with regard to research assistantship, then of course you can get a chance for an interview, and subsequently you can get accepted into the research lab. And if you're looking to apply as a teaching assistant, it would definitely be important to have something like your TOEFL.
Yeah.
And as you have your TOEFL, the speaking part. The speaking part is important because you will be teaching students, so definitely they want to be sure you're not going to confuse the students. Yeah.
Okay, very good. Thank you so much. And yes, the next question we have for you is it for STEM and not STEM? Is there any limit as regarding the courses, or it's very open? It's a wide scholarship that is open to wide range of programs. What will you
It
say
is.
about
It is. It is open to a wide range of programs. To be honest, it's not just for STEM enthusiasts or anything. All students, arts, humanities. Everybody. Yeah, you can.
very
It's weird.
that's cool. So like how is it like in Turkey? Like how is it like as an international student studying in
Mhm.
Turkey? What is it like? Um, what is it like? Yeah, just give us an overview of what it
Yeah, let
is.
me give you the perspective of a person who has just. I mean, I don't think I've used greater than a month, more than a month here, so I'll be giving you my perspective, right? So Turkey is I don't know. I've not really gone out so much, but it's a cool place. It's a cool place, and a lot of people understand. A lot of people know it's a Muslim country. It's an Islamic country, but that doesn't really stop you from doing whatever you want to do. Of course, you have to really act within the confines of the law, right? But
Yeah.
it's a cool country, to be honest, and they are really really in terms of science, right? In terms of science, they're really up there. They're really up there, And for those that are STEMists, or for those that are STEM enthusiasts, if you're looking to study in Turkey, I think it's the right choice, because you would definitely be up there with regard to research rigor, and the quality of research you'll be doing. But with regard to the environment, it's a very cool place to study. It's cold as well. It's cold as well, so you have to be ready for that as well. So, but overall, I say on a scale of 1 to 10, I could give it a solid 8, 9. Yeah.
Interesting.
Yes.
So I know, like, we're still going to talk about that. You had your graduate degree in Russia before coming.
Yes.
But
Yes.
if you were to like be like, oh, Russia or Turkey again, which one will you go? Turkey, Russia?
To be honest, Russia is just so beautiful. I don't know how to put this one.
Wow.
Yeah, honestly, for Russia, the scholarship I had at first was not the open door scholarship. It was a straight department scholarship. So the stipend was higher. Like I said, I think we've talked about this a bit. So the stipend was higher. If the stipend was maybe 2 times the original one I got, I definitely will be going to Russia again, because I don't know, there's just something with Russia that just stuck with me. And it's a beautiful place to be, especially when you're in a place like St. Petersburg or St. Moscow. Trust me, you will not want to leave because it is really, really good. It is really beautiful there.
It
But
seems
it is cool.
exciting. Okay, like let's quickly like finish this. I'm going to ask you questions about that Russia scholarship, because I think I'm interested in knowing more about that. So yeah, like now still talking about the YTB scholarship. So what advice will you give to people that are applying, that want to apply to this scholarship, so for them to stand out?
Yeah, standing out is always, like we know, the competition is fierce, right? And I don't know, this was a start from 2022. I think the number of people who applied for the YTB scholarship was almost over 150,000 people, and from all countries, And when it involves all countries, it's going to be really, really fierce. So in Nigeria this year, I think just over 40 people were chosen for the scholarship, and it's higher in other, over 40 people.
Oh,
So there's a potential.
This scholarship. I'm sorry to cut you, goodness. Like,
Yeah, no problem. Yes,
of this scholarship opportunity over 40, you can be among the 40. This
you could definitely be among the recipients.
yeah.
Absolutely, I agree with you.
So that is one thing I
But
always tell people: take advantage of every opportunity that comes your way.
Mhm.
So because this YTB, I remember applying for this scholarship, but I did not
Oh
really
my
do
God.
follow up. Yeah, I
No,
that's why and I find it like, I think it's not really difficult. The
it's
application, it's not difficult, and it's something you can check out, look out for, especially for the fact that you even mentioned that they are giving free visa fee. They will be covering your visa fee if you get it, like your flight fee, everything, total package. So it will save
absolutely.
you a lot of stress. So look
Yes.
out for this scholarship this thing. Yes. So yeah, you can continue with what you're saying. I'm sorry to cut you. Yeah.
Yeah, no problem, no problem. So the YTV scholarship again, it's a fully funded scholarship, and when you're applying, you would need to really pay attention to the essay part, right? Like I
Yes.
said, it's very fair. So you need to really pay attention to the essay part. If you're able to ace the essay part, you have the requirements. If you're an undergrad, you have greater than 70%. Your grade is greater than or equal to 70%, and you have your CV in order. Trust me, I think you have a good chance. I think you actually have a good chance. What would actually help you to stand out is the essay. How are you
Oh,
able to tell your story, right? How are you able to how are you able to convince these guys that you're best fit for the scholarship? If you're able to do a good job there, I think you'd have a very strong chance of moving on to the interview stage.
very good. Thank
Yes.
you, Sarah. Thank you. I really that's very nice. That's a good one. So if you want to apply for this scholarship, do it well. Like, write your essays well. Don't just submit because they said you should apply for the scholarship. You want to get rid of, you're competing with a lot of people. So some
Absolutely.
strong essays, strong application, your academic CV, and tell your recommenders too that they should
They
write
should do a good job.
recommendations for you, so they will pick you, because all those things count. Okay.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
So yeah. So another question that I have for you now. So like concerning this Turkey scholarship of a thing,
Yes.
how is the like resumption session? Is it like it's a 1 year thing, right? Like it's a yearly thing. Am I right?
Yes, it's annually.
So
It's
when are
held
you looking
annually.
for, when if I'm applying for the next upcoming session, when am I likely to resume? Like when am I likely to start? Uh, like
Like for me specifically, I actually the application would, I think it spans just 2 3 months, 2 3 months. It opens in January actually. So this is already this is November already. So saying in roughly two
yeah,
months, it would actually open. So it
yeah.
runs for say 2 months again. 2 months after the opening of the portal for applications. So
Oh.
you would, yes, yes. So it's every January. Let's just put it that way.
Mm-hmm.
Every January. So it runs for 2 months before they close, and you would be resuming in September.
Oh,
Okay,
okay.
yeah, in September,
September.
October. Yeah,
So, okay, that makes sense. That makes sense. So
yeah.
I can target the scholarship. If you want to apply for scholarship and you think, oh yeah, you're looking for opportunity to go study, you should be
hmm
targeting to start classes in September.
In
So
September,
like during the
because
course, yeah, go ahead.
okay. Yeah, because you after the application, I said 2 3 months. That's the span of the application period. Then after that, you would have say 2 3 months again for them to really go through the applications. Then you'll be called for interviews somewhere around June July. Yeah, June July. Then August you start seeing results.
Okay.
The announcement of results. Then September you get ready.
Okay. So do you like after seeing result, do you go for interview visa? Do they have like visa interview, physical interview?
Yeah, that's the great thing. There is no interview for you.
Wow, like I feel like that's cool. Like because
It is very cool because of course it's expected that they've done the interview already. So you're fit for the scholarship. So there is no interview.
yeah, it's different because like for US, no matter the scholarship you have on, no
Oh
matter
my
the
god.
scholarship you get, you have
Oh
to
my
apply for a
god.
visa interview. You have to get a date, and that does not like you have to
Oh
get
my
and
god.
apply for a visa interview. So I think so far now, I think UK schools some you don't have to appear for like a physical interview and yes.
Okay,
So
yeah, yeah.
yeah, like just I'm just being like trying to be yeah, it's out of this thing. So like Turkey is in which part of Europe? Which part? Like
Is it? It looks like it's in Western Europe. I'm not completely sure about that, but it's kind of in the middle, Asia and Europe.
okay,
So
nice.
there's the Asian part of Turkey and the European part of Turkey, but I think it's actually in Western Europe.
Okay, well
Look
done.
it up. I'm not completely sure.
Okay, that's okay. Yeah, so now let's talk about the Russia scholarship. So guys,
Yeah.
that is it about the YTB scholarship. There'll be, like link when it comes out, I would share the link with you guys and I would bring
Yeah.
a reminder to people to prospective grad students are looking out for that. So watch out for that opportunity. It's a very good one and I will encourage everybody looking out for opportunities to take advantage of that one. So now
Yeah,
let's
one
talk
more
about
thing, please. One more
yeah.
thing. One more thing before we go. For the YTB scholarship, you also have to be intentional about your social activities, right? That counts. That counts. You need to put some things in there. So your social life cannot be dead. Okay. So you must have some leadership experience, some volunteering experience. All those also count. So it's not just an uh, a strictly academic thing. So you also have to be social, and there has to be proof for that. Yeah.
Oh,
And if you can also go on to online courses, they want to see that you've been actively involved in professional development. So you'd have to also have to be very intentional about that as well. So all
those things.
those come together to really create a distinctive future for you.
Thank you for sharing that with us. I would just buttress on that point that as a scholarship, you're looking for funding opportunities. You're looking for funding scholarship opportunities. My advice that I always tell people that come talk to me is like build yourself all around, like in all aspects, not just
Absolutely.
academic aspects, because you don't
Absolutely.
know what those people might just see that might just like interest them and just be like, oh yes, this person
Mm,
is
mm,
for this
mm,
program.
mm,
So
mm.
try and build your voluntary skills, just like you mentioned.
Yes.
Participate in all these um like community service,
Development. Yes.
top leadership opportunities. You don't have to be the president. Just need to like even if it is just
Be involved.
yeah, just be involved.
Be
involved.
involved.
Very, very, very important.
Absolutely.
Those are the things that they really, really like. Sometimes they are looking for they're looking for in the candidate. So please,
Yes.
if you are looking for opportunities, scholarship opportunities, funding opportunities, try and build yourself. You don't have to start saying you want to write it. Of course, it's a good thing to be academically like you have
Inclined.
academic ability is very strong, and you
Mhm.
have skills, but at the same time you can also build other aspect of your life as well. So, and you can put all those things in your statement of purpose academic CV, and that will make you a good fit for the program that you're applying. It will give you more edge compared to
Mm.
others that just have maybe just academic or something else. Okay.
Absolutely.
Yeah, thank
Absolutely.
you so much. Now
Yes.
let's talk about the Russia scholarship. So yeah, oh, you're so excited. I'm excited to hear about that.
I am. I am, to be honest.
Yeah, so like I didn't even know where to start, but how is it like applying to Russia? Did you apply to a school or you applied to a particular scholarship?
Yes, just like in the US, there are plethora of ways you could actually apply for funding. You could decide to apply to just write code emails all day. You could decide to go the route of just applying to the department. You could go the route of applying for the university scholarship. They're different routes. What I did was the department had they had a funding opportunity for international students, and this is very very very, very rare that departments actually have funding for international
Hear
students.
about this opportunity. How did you hear about this opportunity?
Honestly, it was just like a post. I think I was on LinkedIn that day. I just, I just saw it and what is this? Because I am of course I'm familiar with the Open Door Scholarship. I've been familiar with the Open Door Scholarship for long,
Okay, so
and
open doors was Russia, right?
it is for Russia. It is for Russia. And
Oh,
there's also the education in Russia. Yeah, they are different. Yeah. So, but this one was specifically from the department, Imo University, and the department had a scholarship opportunity for physics graduates, right? For physics graduates, and it was like different tracks. And if you have a bachelor's degree in physics, you could apply for the opportunity. So I said, "Oh, that's nice. I could always apply for this." So what I did was I applied, and we had to write an exam. With Russian, anything Russian, be ready to write an exam.
really?
be ready to. You cannot go scot free. You have to write an exam. So I did. I wrote an exam. So I was fortunate to pass. I passed, and yeah, I was called for an interview. An interview I think with some panel from the department. I thought I aced it, so I aced the scholarship, and fortunately for me, I got the scholarship, and it was really nice. It was really nice. But this one did not cover the flight fees. Right?
Okay.
I had to scout for that one.
Ooh, your
So
visa.
I have to, yeah, no, yeah, of course you have to pay for your visa fee. You have to pay for your visa fee for that one.
You have to go for the visa interview.
No, there was no visa interview. The school would send like a visa invitation.
No, Russia does no. You don't go for a physical interview for Russia too.
No, like you go physically to submit your application. You have
But you
to
don't
fill
like
the.
ask you questions
I
like
can't, no, no, no. But I
why.
think right now they do. Right now they do, but then they did not.
Oh, so now if you want to go to Russia, they'll be like, why
I
are you
think you have to be ready for an interview.
going?
You have to be ready for an interview.
Okay.
But then it was just really straight for me, and the department, they did well. They were gracious enough to send all my details to the embassy. I had no problems. I had zero problems. So I applied and I got my visa in less than 2-3 days. It was really sharp. It was nice, and I went to Russia. It was
How
very
was
very
your
very.
experience studying in Russia? How was it like in Russia?
Woof, woof. Are we ready for this one? Oh my God, I have never seen a level of rigor in my life.
Oh,
Oh my God, I was tortured,
wow,
tortured in court.
wow.
In fact, it was a different level of rigor.
In terms
The
of
academic,
academics, right?
the
Like,
academic rigor it is off the charts. It is off the
yeah,
charts,
I think,
especially for the course I applied for.
yeah, and I
Yeah,
think,
once it's
yeah. Sorry to cut you because I
no, no
think
problem.
the academic standard is very high,
It is off the
very,
charts.
very high. Yeah.
It is. I had to do a lot of things. So that was the case then. So what I did was it was like the night classes we always had, right? The night classes. I have never had a night. I have never done a night class in my life.
People
This
don't
one,
even in
no,
your
I have never. I mean, I don't go for night classes. I don't.
wow.
Honestly, this one I had to. I had to be honest. So it was really, really. I was forced to the depths of the sea. All right. So I had to do a lot of things, and it was really, really crazy.
So
And
like if I want to get scholarship opportunity in Russia, will you
mhm.
advise me to go? What way would I go to, like what paths do you think I should train?
Like I
Uh
said, there are different routes for the scholarship for different scholarships. There's the open
okay.
doors, which is currently open. It is
Open door,
currently yeah, the
can you
open doors is
like
currently open.
open door scholarship? I don't know if I got
Yes,
normal open door, right?
open and doors, like the plural form of door.
Okay, okay.
Yeah. So open door scholarship, it will be closing by I think November 20th, November 20th. So just apply. They also get a lot of applications, so you need to anything you're doing, you have to be competitive. We've already talked about how to be competitive already. You have to
Yeah.
submit your documents, you have to be complete. So everything has to be in check. So for the Open Door Scholarship, there are actually two phases for master students and for bachelor students, and three phases for doctoral students. So for master students, you need to pass a portfolio part phase of the scholarship, and subsequently you would have to pass a written exam. Right? It's online, so you have
Okay.
to get prepared for that. So after you do that, if you pass, you get a scholarship straight. It is straight.
So even undergraduate and both batch, everybody gets to write an exam.
Yes, yes, yes. Every single person.
Okay.
Yeah, it was just this year began to they added the bachelor's track. It was just the master's track and the PhD track initially. So, but now you have the bachelor's track. So it's pretty straight.
Okay. Like, do you have to pay any application fee applying to Russia schools?
Yeah, actually, like the Turkish one, it's zero application fees.
Oh, okay, okay,
You don't
okay.
have to pay. Yeah.
Okay, that makes sense. So if you guys have any question, you can drop your question in the comment section. We can take questions now. And I think we have a question that we missed. Like someone is asking, can scholarship recipients choose any university in Turkey? Or are there specific universities associated with Turkey Bursary? I think you talked about that earlier, right?
Yeah, I think most universities actually, I mean, it's the Turkish government scholarship. So most universities, you could actually choose the university you'd like to attend. However, you also have to keep the requirements in mind, right? If you have the requirements like the TOEFL, you have a good score in TOEFL, and you have the requirements of the grade requirement and other, of course, you could apply to even the best. And you definitely, if you pass, you get in selected.
Nice. Thank
Yeah.
you. So I have a question. If the viewers don't have a question, so like studying as an international student in a
Yes.
country that is like as an international student, of course, that's not your home country, right? So how has
Mhm.
your experience been so far generally? Like, are you liking? Like, are you enjoying the process? Do you think it's what the stress of like leaving your country? What do you think about that? Like, how is it like?
For me, actually, I just think it's an eye-opening process, right? And it just helps you to see things from various perspectives. And I think that for an individual, it's very important. So just, I mean, it's not like we don't have really nice universities in Nigeria where we could study. I mean, we have some universities that are still top notch. But I just think the very process of going out there and just seeing things, experiencing cultures, and just getting familiar with different ways of life, it just gives you another kind of perspective. And I think for an individual, that is very, very important. And for students, even more so. Yeah.
Yeah. And
Yeah.
yeah, so what has been your challenge? What was more challenging for you to adapt to, like in terms of traveling out as an international student? Yeah.
Oh, the first time you get to travel, it will be very, 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 very strenuous for you. Trust me, you cannot prepare for it. I mean, for me specifically, when I first traveled, I had to stop. I had to stop. I think I had to stop in Ethiopia. Oh bro, it was just too much for me. I had to stop. Then we waited for I think 3 4 hours. I think it was up to 5. We waited for some hours, and it's not like they are going to help you board or lodge a room. You're going to stay, you have to sit down for 5 hours, and it's very, very, very hard. And sometimes it just happens to be in the night when you are actually very sleepy. So that just takes its
Like
toll on you.
during your time in Russia, like how is it like? What was any? Do you like face any challenge or in Turkey where you had like what is that thing that you find it very difficult to like adapt to as an international student?
One thing for sure was the cold. You cannot prepare for the
Yeah.
cold. I mean, I was told it's very cold there. It's very cold there. I could not just prepare for the cold.
What
It
part of
was
Russia was
very cold.
that?
Every part of Russia is cold.
Really?
It is brutally cold, to be honest. Like you cannot prepare for that amount, for that level of cold. So
Okay.
it was very, very cold, and I just could not adapt to the cold. It got to a point I thought I adapted, but you cannot adapt to minus 27 degrees Celsius. Trust me.
Oh, wow. Pretty cool.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it
So
is.
we'll come back to that. We have a question. Do they also require an English certificate, English language proficiency certificate, like standardized test in Russia?
Uh, no, they don't. They don't.
They don't. So
Uh, for Russian universities, you just have to apply. The only thing they require, which is a must, is your certificate, your transcript.
okay.
Certificate, transcript. If you have those two, you should be pretty fine.
Yeah. So another question: can somebody with HND also apply for the scholarship? Both
For
from
what scholarship?
ITB or Russia or Open Door?
Oh, HND. Oh, this is a tough one now.
What if you do
Because those,
evaluation? Because I think
yeah,
West.
if you do West evaluation, I think you could. But just applying with your HND, I mean, it's specifically written there, a BSc certificate,
Yeah.
a bachelor certificate.
I think I would advise the person should go for West evaluation, evaluate your transcript, and this is not just for containing Russia or anything. It will help you have a lot of opportunities to apply to. You would not be limited to. Uh,
Absolutely, I agree with you.
so do
I agree with you.
evaluation.
Yeah,
Yeah, so you guys can keep the questions coming. If you have question, you can ask your question. Okay.
absolutely.
So yeah, let's continue talking about the Russia. This just I think I would like to visit Russia someday. I would like
Yeah,
to. Yeah,
trust me, you would love it. I mean, you will love it. You will.
yeah. So like when I was doing my program, I had a colleague that was from Russia, and oh my,
Ah,
God, the person is very very smart.
I
Like
mean, they are very smart. That
like
is one thing I also love about them.
like
Very smart.
very, very
Very, very.
so like you even like they all these founders of mathematical theorems, all
It
these
is. It is. It is. It
have them
is just.
they're
It
from
is crazy.
Russia. Like
Yes.
like
Yes.
have Andre like a lot of like founders of all these proofs theorems that we do in mathematics.
Absolutely.
They are from
Absolutely.
Russia. So like so many times I'm just like, so what were we doing when we were studying in back in on our own undergraduates that make these
You
people
would
bring
not believe high school students. The problem these guys are tackling. You would not. You would be. In fact, I was blown away, to be honest, and that helped me with some form of humility. Honest, because it was just crazy. I mean, these guys are tackling high grade problems,
and
even
I
high
think that
school.
is why internet this is very good to travel abroad, to go study abroad.
Absolutely,
It's not just
absolutely,
about the funding opportunities. You will be
absolutely.
exposed to certain things that like I don't know, like you will be exposed to a lot of things. There is this adage they used to say, I'll try and interpret it in English. Like if you do not go to somebody else's farm, you think your father's farm is the biggest. But if you
Oh, that is very true. That is very true.
you will be like, oh my god. So like what was I doing when I was in
Oh
undergraduate?
my
Like
God.
these people have gone far, 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 far. Like
In fact,
when
it
they're
is
discussing,
uncanny. It
they're,
is very,
discussing,
very strange.
they're discussing with the professors, and you'll be like, are you really like on the same level with this person? And even let's forget about age difference. Like in terms of like I'm not trying to be like doing bias. In terms of age, you are a lot of older than them. They are very young, like quite young.
Yes,
But
yes.
like, oh my god, these people are very, very intelligent. And one thing I've come to like discover is that their foundation is very, very strong.
It is. It is.
The
It is
academic foundation
very
is
strong.
very, very so yeah.
It is.
So yeah, we have to also meet up in Instagram and pay
Oh my
attention
God.
to everything. So it's a good thing to like explore like study abroad
And
opportunity.
yes, and this should inform an advice for those applying to study outside the shores of Nigeria. Trust me, it's not about Japan. Trust see, I don't know how to say this, but you need to be ready. You need
Yeah.
to be ready for the
Oh,
rigor you would face,
you would
because
face that.
it might take a toll on you if you're not careful. So you need whatever you're studying. This is an advice. Study it well to the depths, right? You want to be very strong in the foundations of whatever you're studying, because trust me, for you to be innovative or even be disruptive in any way, you need to understand what you're doing. You can't just create anything from thin air. You need to really get a good grasp of whatever you want to study, so you could be a valuable contributor, to your field. That's
Yeah.
how you become a valuable contributor. If you don't know the foundations, then you just another student.
Yeah, that's true. That's true. Thank you so much, Colette. Goodness, I think
Um,
if you guys don't have any question, I would want to ask Colette, goodness, to give us an advice, like for people that are looking out for scholarship opportunities, that wants to like be a scholarship person. Or somebody just asked, is there any form of discrimination in Russia?
this is I think there's a popular opinion that in Russia it's the worst of places to live in, right?
It's not
Trust
true.
me, I think it's the exact opposite, to be honest.
Yeah, because I
Those
have
guys,
like a lot of friends in Russia, and
it
they are
is
living
it is
life.
it is just the exact opposite. It is cool. I think the only problem you might actually face in Russia, I think it's the cold.
Cold.
Aside the cold, it's beautiful there. It is
Yeah.
beautiful. Take my words. It is beautiful there. You would love it there. And things are just very cheap there. I mean, it's where you want to be. Trust me, if you have a good stipend, they pay you properly, you would want to stay there for till, I don't know. That's
Yeah,
how it works.
that aside the code, which I feel like
Outside the
we
code,
adapt
it's
to.
fine.
So look
But you
out, you
also
guys.
have to be ready for the shocks, though. You have to be ready for the shocks, for the culture shocks.
Oh yeah, yeah, that's
For
true.
the
Like,
culture.
let's talk about the
I
culture
mean,
shocks. What are the culture shocks that you've experienced?
oh my God. Oh my God. I think there's one very crazy one. It's they smoke a lot. When I mean they smoke a lot, I'm not saying it in just
Their lifestyle,
it's
yeah.
not I am saying it's very big. I mean, it's crazy that they smoke a lot. So you have to be very, very, very ready for that. I mean,
Yeah.
it's something it took me some time to get used to that. I mean, every corner you go, at least in St. Petersburg that I stayed, it was just crazy.
Oh wow, wow, that's
Yeah.
interesting. You've gotten a lot of experience. So, what
Oh,
advice went with it? What advice would you give anybody that wants to get a scholarship, just like you, or that wants to study abroad? A general advice, I would say.
okay. First off, I think it's imperative to be intentional about self development. Okay, do not take that for granted. I mean,
Yeah.
not just room for scholarships. You cannot afford to be the same. Okay, you have to improve. You have
Yeah.
to improve, and that is a must. That is a
Mm,
must. Because by the time you start going out and you start finding the disparity, I mean the difference between you and the other person, you might not like where you are. See, you need to get intentional quickly. It's nice to have it quickly than later discover. So it's very, very, very important that you get very intentional about personal development, personal development. And you also need to, whatever you're learning, please learn it properly. Learn it properly. Yeah.
emphasis on that.
I mean,
Yeah.
learn it properly. I know what I'm talking about. Learn it properly. Learn
Yeah.
it properly,
Just
not
learn
just
it
to
because you want
pass.
to pass. Yeah,
That's
not
not how
just
it
because
works.
you want to pass. No, no.
That's not
Yeah.
how it works. You need to learn it properly, and
Yeah.
be on the lookout. Information is power, like we said, like we know. So you
Yeah.
need to be on the lookout for opportunities. Sometimes these some opportunities are not as crowded in terms of how many people are applying or stuff. You need to be on the lookout and just always shoot your shots. Always whatever you're applying for. Is it a scholarship? Is it a fellowship? Always put your best foot
Your best.
forward. It
Yeah.
is important. It is important. Always put your best foot forward. It doesn't matter. Just put your best foot forward. So you know that you're putting in your best. So when you don't get it, you know how to adjust accordingly.
Exactly. Very good.
That's it's very important. So you don't keep on applying and you start getting negative response, it takes a toll on you quickly. By the time you start applying to 20 places and you get 19 rejections. So it's all about the quality of applications. And how can you reflect the quality of applications? It depends on how you just improved yourself, how many things you've done, how many research you've done. I mean, all those things just accumulate to help you become better overall.
Thank you so much. Really appreciate you. Thank you for your time. And saying a big thank you to everybody that has joined us for today's section. Don't forget to subscribe, share this video. The link this video is being recorded and you can still have access to this, so you can share it with your friends to learn about Turkey scholarship, Russia scholarship, and you never can tell, you can be a beneficiary of the scholarship.
Absolutely.
So yeah, and that is going to be the end of today's session. Once again, thank you for scholar goodness, and thank you to everybody that has joined us for today's section. All right.
Yeah, thank you so much. I had fun here. Thank you.
Yeah.